In yet another reminder of the overall contempt Republicans have for women, earlier today, a second woman accused that Georgia Senate candidate that I mentioned earlier, Herschel Walker, of urging her to get an abortion, claiming that Walker personally drove her to a Texas abortion clinic. The woman, who identified herself as Jane Doe, held a press conference with her lawyer, Gloria Allred. She claimed that she left the clinic in tears because she was unable to go through with it. According to her, Walker was having none of that and drove her back to the clinic and waited for her in the parking lot while he made sure that she did have the procedure. Allred provided evidence of their relationship, including a voicemail where he professes his love for the woman. Now, I should note that this relationship happened while Herschel Walker was married to his high school sweetheart. Initially, Walker claimed this allegation was nothing but foolishness, and then he made his first of two appearances on Fox News.
We have to address the elephant in the room today, and that is another accuser has come forward, anonymous, although she spoke to reporters today, saying that you pressured her to have an abortion and that you paid for it. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's a lie, and I've said that's a lie, and I hope people can see right now that Raphael Warnock and the left would do whatever they can to win this seat bite. But I don't think they realize that they messed with the wrong Georgia in here, that I'm not going to stop. This seat is too important for me to stop thinking that they can try to scare me or force me out of this seat.
You know what sounds foolish? A man who claims to be pro-life but actually isn't. Join me now, Rachel Bitecofer, political scientist and strategist and host of The Cycle on Substack, and Tom Bonier, political strategist and CEO of Target Smart. Thank you both for being here. I want to play a little bit of this press conference from Herschel Walker's latest accuser. Let's take a listen.
I am coming forward now because I saw Herschel deny the allegations by another woman who claimed that he had paid for her abortion. And particularly, I saw him state that the woman's claims were not true because he never signed any cards using the letter H. I knew that was not true because he had often signed letters to me using H. I am a registered independent, and I voted for Donald Trump in both elections. I do not believe that Herschel is morally fit to be a U.S. senator.
I want to go to you first, Rachel, because you have the disadvantage. You're not here with us in studio. How do you think that allegation winds up playing in the Georgia race?
I think this is one of the most compelling arguments you can make in the electoral situations that Georgia Democrats find themselves in, and also in other tough areas like Texas. And that is to try to tell Republicans who have spent 30, 40 years of their lives convinced that this is a moral red line for them, that that is indeed a red line, and that other Republicans are not willing to cross it, because we know for sure that this man paid for at least one abortion, right? So I do think that that's a compelling argument to make. I think they also need to be arguing to women in these states that there's a secret ballot that they can use to protect their reproductive freedom too. And with those two compelling arguments as the close, I think that we have a chance to really push it to take it to the GOP in those states. So
let me come to you, Tom, because one of the things that we're seeing is people are voting like crazy. I mean, we're talking about already the 12 million some odd votes have already, or 1 million votes in Georgia have already been cast. This is in the state of Georgia. Every demographic is coming out, but you're seeing black voters, voters over age 50 coming out in the biggest numbers. Altogether, more than 12 million votes have already been cast nationwide, 633,000 plus votes in Pennsylvania. 56% of those are women. You're talking about in Georgia, Fulton County, just mowing every other county down. So you're seeing on the ground a lot of voting, and a lot of voting by women. Your numbers have consistently shown that abortion is a driving force. Is that, in your mind, still the case?
Absolutely. The theory going into this election was that Democrats wouldn't be fired up. this was going to be a typical midterm election where the party in power, their voters would stay home. And it was kind of looking like that was going to be the case until the Dobbs decision.
Right.
We've talked about the surge in voter registration, and then there was a question. Well, it's great that women are registering to vote, but are they going to turn out?
Yeah.
This early vote day, and like you said, I mean, almost 1 million votes in Georgia, despite the governor's voter suppression bill.
Yep.
Still getting that high turnout. And big gender gaps, like you said, driven by women, especially African-American women in Georgia. You're seeing the same thing in Pennsylvania. We're looking at these first-time voters, people who have not voted in any election before. Those are where you're seeing the biggest gender gaps.
Yeah.
So it's clearly showing that the issue is motivating women to come out.
And I will note for people who say, oh, the Georgia turnout means that there's no voter suppression. And I can tell you this just from having worked in campaigns, particularly black voters turn out early more when there's more voter suppression because they're nervous that they want to have a second shot if their vote gets rejected. If they show up and their names have been taken off the rolls, they want to be able to come back. And so people vote early because there's more voter suppression, and also younger people because of more convenience. So there are lots of reasons why people vote. It doesn't mean anything. That law is still heinous.